Valheim can be a tricky game to get into. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to show you guys a few basic things so when you get started in the game you know what you're doing and you know how to play. So there's a lot of things that you have to take into account in this game. There's a lot of stuff you have to do, there's a lot of stuff you need to know. So I'm just going to show you everything that's important and give you some tips and some tricks to help you do well in Valheim. Okay, so let's go and get started. I'm going to keep my tools on me, my weapons, just to make this a little easier, and my armour. But I've got nothing else in my inventory apart from arrows. So when you spawn in Valheim, you'll spawn here. Now this is the area where you hang your trophies from the bosses you kill, but we'll get into that in a minute. So you can see I've killed 3 of the bosses so far. You'll also see the bird land, you want to talk to him, and then you want to just start picking up resources. Now this is all pretty self-explanatory, just run along and pick stuff up. Yeah, so you just want to go around and you want to just collect all of the stones, wood, lying on the floor that you can see, get as much as you can. So for this first part, you're just going to want to literally grab everything you see, everything's useful, or will be at some point. You also want to take note of any decayed structures you find. So, here's one. So what you can do is you can go into your crafting menu by pressing tab, open your inventory, and you want to make yourself a hammer. Now, well, first you probably want to make an axe and then you can just cut trees. I'll show you that, but I'm using a better axe just because it'll be quicker. So you just chop the tree down, it will fall into a log, which may or may not fall. You may have to chop it a little more. And you'll just want to keep hitting the log and it will explode into more wood. So we'll probably have to hit this one too. Also be very careful because the trees falling can cause a lot of damage. Okay, so now you've got a little bit of wood. You want to make yourself the hammer, so that with the hammer you can place items on the ground or in the world. So the first thing you're going to want to make is you're going to press right click with a hammer in your hand, and you can see you've got different tabs. So these are different areas of building, of what you can build with a hammer. So the campfire is pretty useful for cooking, and you'll need one near your bed when you set one up. But for now, what you want to do is you want to create a workbench. Just place this in the world, and then now you can build in this area other stuff. It also means you can deconstruct stuff. So what you want to do is you just want to middle mouse click after you've placed your workbench. Now once you've destroyed, you'll notice there's wood dropping on the ground, so this will all decay now. And basically it's a cheaper way of getting wood quickly when you're starting out, because the default axe is a lot slower than obviously my axe. And there you can see we've got more wood. And then what you can do is you can just middle mouse click again with your hammer out and destroy the workbench. And it's a quick way of gathering wood. And you get more than if you just have to farm it all yourself. And also anything you build you can deconstruct for the resources back. So even the boats, you can destroy them with an axe and you'll get all of the resources back. Now that you've got some resources, you probably want to make yourself a weapon. Now the club's pretty good starting out, and it can allow you to take on the pigs pretty easily. So I'm just going to kill these quickly, just to show you. Obviously you won't kill them as quick, so you get a chance of getting meat and you'll get some leather scraps. Now you'll need all these resources at some point, so keep everything you get for now and just keep gathering food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit about food. So when you go into your inventory, you can see that there you have types of food. So in the bottom left you've got 3 slots, that's the type of food eaten at that point. So if we hover over a food, you can see that each food has a health and a stamina and a duration. So you can see that these like raw ingredients, the raspberries and the mushrooms, they do this. The raspberries do 10 health and 20 stamina. But when we go up to like the more processed foods, like the cooked fish and the sausages, you can see I'm getting a lot more health and stamina. So you can balance how much health you get. So you could pick foods that have all health, or say you want to go mining, you could pick foods that have more stamina. So at the moment I've got a fair mix between stamina and food. So if I eat some of these foods, you can see that my maximum health has increased and my stamina bar has increased as well. Now this is quite an important part of the game, as well as having the rested bonus. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But for now, that is how food works. So you're going to want to just keep gathering, and then you're going to want to build a house somewhere. So initially, you're not going to be able to build a really grand house, but what you will want to do is just, again, just place another work table down. Now, you can craft stuff on this workbench, but only if it has a roof. So a quick way of creating a roof for it is to do this. So place 2 walls behind it, and then you want to go for the thatch roof, and you just want to put 2 there, 2 there. And now this counts. Oh, it's still exposed. So you, depending on where you place your crafting table, yeah, so you may need to replace the crafting table to be able to craft here, but you can see that that's worked for now. Okay, so this is a quick way to just chuck down a crafting table and craft. So you can do this out in the wild as well. You can also chuck a fire here, and if you want to cook meat that you've got, you can chuck one of these cooking stations over the top of the fire. Now, as you can see, it's gone out because it's currently raining. So what you can do is you could just extend this out. So you can do this sort of thing. Say if you want to build a base, but you're not really sure where you want to build it yet, you can just keep it going and build like a little shelter whilst you're out and about. So that fire keeps going out, so I'll just put a wall there, and there you go, we've got a fire. So to put the meat on, you just press E on it, and it puts the item on. So you can cook the fish, the meat, the raw meat, and the neck tails. Again, cooked meat is pretty good. It'll give you more health and stamina than the berries and mushrooms that you find. So also, you want to be careful with how long you leave your food on, because if you leave it too long, your food will burn. So you can see it's finished cooking, so we'll take one off and we'll let the other one burn. The next thing that you're probably want to make is going to be the bow. So what you'll need is you'll need to kill several boars. So you can see I've got 3 scrap from the 3 boars I killed, and 10 wood. Make that, and then make some wooden arrows with 8 wood, and that will be enough to get you started. So if I sit down here as well, you can see that I've got the resting appeared on the screen. So this is how you get the resting bonus. Now you could just sit near a fire under cover, and this will give you the rested. So if we look in here, so the Valheim compendium, you can see the active effects on your character. So you'll see things like poison, or if you're getting if you have a fire resist potion, that sort of thing. It shows you here what that is. So you can see rested. You feel rested. Health and stamina regeneration is higher. Health regen plus 50%. Stamina regen 100%. Also fire and resting. So when you're out and about, it's very important to... Obviously you can go back, or you can build one of these bases and you can get that rested bonus. It means if you're fighting, your stamina will regenerate quicker and you'll heal quicker, which can be quite important for some fights. So if you're taking on a boss, you want to make sure that you've got that rested bonus at the top. Okay, so once you've made your bow and you've got some arrows, you can, if you want to keep this here, you can obviously keep it, or you can just strip the whole thing apart with middle mouse click and get all your resources back. Now you've got your bow, you want to hunt some deers. Now you can kill the deers by sneaking up on them and crouching and hitting them with your club, but this isn't always the best way to do it. You just want to shoot them with your bow. Now with the first bow, it may take you a few shots to be able to get used to it, but you'll get the feel of it pretty quick. Now you see I've got the deer trophy. Now this is quite important to be able to fight the first boss. So we'll go ahead and kill a few more deers and I'll show you how that fight goes. But also, you can see there's a seagull here. Now this is how you get feathers for making better arrows. So just take aim with your bow and shoot the seagull. It's quite violent. And then just keep killing deers until you've got a fair bit of leather. Or miss and hit the bush. So yeah, just going to want to keep going around and killing stuff, killing everything you can, and just gaining resources. You can also find these like bases like this, and you can always take this over. Say you think, oh, I actually like the way this looks. You can come inside, you can chuck down your crafting bench, the same thing, and just repair this base. and just make it your own. Obviously put a new roof on, that sort of thing. Now if you want to repair stuff so you can see that it's all damaged and looks like it started to rot, what you do is you get the hammer in your hand, press right click, and then on all of these pages you'll see the hammer here. This icon means repair. So it doesn't cost any resources, you just left click and it repairs stuff. Now this does take stamina, so you know, you can't go around and just spam everything really quick because you will probably run out early on in the game. But that is how you repair these bases and make them look brand new, if that's what you want to do. If you want to build your own place, that's fine, but this can be an easy way of getting a base real quick. Also, another thing I should mention whilst I'm being chased here is when you've got a weapon out in your hand, all weapons reduce your movement speed when they're in your hand. So you can see here that I've got a 10% reduction in movement speed, but that's mostly from my armor that I've equipped. So if I have this in my hand, so press 1 to get it out. Now if I hover over it again, you can see my total is 15. So say we have a bow or the two-handed weapons, this movement penalty will be higher. So what you can do to combat this is just press R and it puts the weapon on your back. Storage in Valheim can be a bit of a problem initially, but once you understand the building mechanics, you can make storage systems like this. Now to do this, all you're going to need is a bit of wood. It's pretty simple. You're going to want to go to building and you're going to want to do the half wall, place it wherever you want it, and then you're going to want to place the wooden floor one by one above it. Now what this allows you to do is it allows you to stack the chests. Now you can either have them sideways or straight onto you. I prefer them like this because you can get more in a smaller space. And then you're just going to want to place the one on top. And then if you want to increase the tiers, all you need to do is just add more half walls like this. And then again, just chuck more wooden floors above. And that's how you create nice big storage areas. So once you've got your leather, you just want to go over to your crafting station. Now these things here around it are just upgrades, so this allows you to make higher level stuff. So ignore that for now. We just go into the workbench. You can see I've got the cloth here, or the leather, sorry. And you just want to go ahead and make yourself the leather armor. You've got your bow as well. You can also upgrade your bow, so you can press the upgrade button here, and you'll see that you can upgrade all of the things that you have made at this station. So you can see that my crafting station is level 5. That means I can upgrade stuff to level 4. So this is quite a good way of making your items last longer, making them do more damage. You can also repair. When you just enter a crafting station, there's a little repair an item button here. Just spam click that and that will make you repair everything. Now that you've got your base as well, you also want to place a bed. So I've already got a bed in this base. What you want to do is just get your hammer out, go to furniture, and you can see you've got the bed. Now you just place this wherever you want and sleep in it. So if I destroy mine real quick, I can show you how it works. So you just place your bed down wherever you want it, and you see it says unclaimed. You claim it, and then you can, and that changes your spawn point to the bed. So I can't sleep at this time, but if it's nighttime, you can sleep. That's how beds work, and that's how you reset your spawn point. So say you're out exploring somewhere, you can just reset your spawn point. Okay, so also here is some flint. This is used for making arrows and making the upgrades for the workbench. You just find that along the river's edge. So you just want to be running along and grabbing this when you can. Okay, now we've got our gear and we've upgraded our weapons. So we've got, say, perhaps a bow, a shield and whatever. What you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of these deer trophies and you're going to go and find the Ichthyr, I don't know if that's how you say it, like icon on the map. So this is where you're going to fight the first boss. Okay, so you can see I'm taking damage while swimming across. This is because I've run out of stamina. So when you're swimming across places, you want to make sure that you let your stamina regenerate before you walk across. Say, and also I'd avoid going over big spaces. Like for here, for instance, I wouldn't swim from here to here. I'd swim from that rock, from there to the, you know, the smallest distance possible, so you don't take damage. Obviously I did that then just to showcase exactly what happens. And what you're going to want to do is make sure you're full health, make sure you've got no active debuffs. So if we look here, you can see wet, lowering your health and stamina regeneration. So that or cold you want to avoid. So what you could do is if you've got the resources on you, you could make yourself a fire. and dry off that way, or you can just let the timer cool down. For me, it's not really going to be a problem. I'm just going to make sure that I've got enough food and I'm full health. So for now, it doesn't really matter that much. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have the stag or deer trophies on your hotbar and just press the number key that responds to it on the altar. This summons the first boss. So for this boss, I generally, the first few times I fought it, I just kited it round and shot it with a bow. But for now, this is going to be a bit easier because I've got a better bow. So what you're going to want to do is use these stones as cover when he charges and just get behind whilst he's charging. So he has this attack and you just go to the side and it won't do as much damage. But yeah, you shouldn't have too much problems. Just make sure you've got full health and you're rested and no active debuffs. And there you go, you've just killed your first boss. Maybe not quite so easy, but not so bad. So you can see he dropped some things. He's dropped the hard antler and the trophy. Now the trophy is what you hang at the stones that I showed you in the beginning. And that's how you get the Ichthir ability that you see in the bottom left that says ready. Now that just increases your movement speed. They all have different effects. You can see them here. So you can see Ichthir, your ability to run and jump is improved. So jump stamina usage is 60% less for both, which is actually really, really good. So that concludes part 1 of my Valheim guide. If you want the second part, don't forget to subscribe and like and all that good stuff. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.